Welcome to Everyday Life. Sean, are you excited for next week? Do you know what next week is for you?
Doom.
Yeah, it's your Doom week, Sean. It's the
Oh,
week
dear.
of Doom. If only my Animal Crossing was coming out, we could relive past history.
No, I don't want to relive that year.
That's fair.
That's a horrible year.
Not the year, just the fact that the two of them come out at the same time. That would have been really funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I loved the videos that people made of Isabel and the Doom guy kind of falling in love and ripping through both games. I thought it was hilarious. I come honestly with the current fascination we have with Lego Fortnite and Battle Royale between me and Logan. I completely forgot that's coming out. It's May 15th that comes out. So, oh dear. It means I've got 8 days to finish the Battle Pass for Fortnite.
Sean's like, I can do this.
Yeah, well, rocking back to back like victory royales with your 7-year-old son.
No, you guys are like dang. Do they have Fortnite tournaments? I'm sure they do, as I say this, but like I don't hear about them.
They do, and you have to be a certain level. I have looked at them and bookmarked ones that I can join. My only issue is I don't like the build mode, and a lot of them circulate around the build mode. Okay. Like, I can't build to save my life in Fortnite. Like, Logan's getting okay. He's like, I just spam the buttons. You just like press a load of buttons and it just starts to build stuff. And I'm like, I can't do that. I'm too focused on who I'm shooting at to also be spamming buttons to build something. So I tend to I'm that guy that lets them build and be like, right, let's get you. You hide in your little hut and I will come in and get you like the big bad wolf.
My favorite story ever that I read was this was a long time ago. It might have been a year, maybe even probably even longer ago. There was some big event happening in Fortnite, and like everybody in this big community moment built this like big deck to watch something in the sky. The map was changing. Something was happening.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And some jerkwad took a rocket launcher and took out the bottom of the thing. And so he ended up with, like, at that time, I don't know what it is now, the most single kills of like 85 kills because people all died as they were falling to their death. It was like my favorite story. There's always somebody. There's always one guy that's got to screw it up for everybody. So anyways, but that said, yes, that is coming out. And so I'm excited for you to rip and tear. I will probably try it, but it will probably fall off quickly.
You're gonna say you'll live through that game vicariously with me.
Yeah, so. More than likely. Yeah, that's 100% true. So what else has been going on this week, man?
So last time we spoke was Tuesday last week. What have I done? I did. Wow.
It's like
literally just before.
Did you not know this was going to happen? Did you like? Wow, that was a curveball, Nick. I didn't know you were going to throw that question at me.
No. Let's say Wednesday. What? I think I just went to the gym. I did. Oh no, that was the week before I did the double gym. Yeah, I think I just carried on going to the gym. I did that Wednesday. Then I worked Thursday, Friday, which it sucks. But you got to work to pay the bills.
Amen.
Otherwise, amen. Saturday we took Logan. Oh, Logan passed his level 3 stage swimming on Saturday. Look at that.
There we go.
Sorry, he'd been stuck at like 86% for ages because he's more focused on getting across the pool before everybody else than his farm. So like he'll be swimming along and then like he'll lift his head to see where everybody else is. Gotcha. But then he lifts his head too much. So his bum drops down. So his feet touch the floor. So he stops and then like kind of jumps and sets off again. So he had to do that, which he managed to do, and then answer a lot of questions regarding pool safety. No dive bombing, don't run, no heavy petting.
Okay.
I don't know why they need to ask a 7-year-old that one, but
that's a real question. That's a real question that a 7-year-old has to answer.
No, but it is on the rules board.
Oh, okay.
Swimming maps.
Okay.
So
I was just viewing this teacher being like, "Do you heavy pet? No. Okay, good job."
My dog doesn't go swimming. So yeah, he passed that, which was really good. Then we went from there. We took Lindsay's grandma out to do a bit of shopping. Then we went for some afternoon tea, which was very nice. Treated myself to a fruit scone with a with Clyde cream and jam, and an Earl Grey tea, which was very posh. It was lovely. It was good. And then we spent the rest of the day on Saturday kind of just chilling out. Caught up with the Formula One that we'd missed, like Friday into Saturday, and then Sunday we did the dreaded food shop, which we were supposed to do on Saturday, but we kind of sacked it off because we didn't want to do anything else for the rest of Saturday.
I don't blame.
So did that, and then caught up with more Formula One. I think I went to the gym again, and then Monday and Tuesday night I've worked nights. So yeah, so I've been chasing my car up as well. So
yeah, still don't have it. I take it. I assumed I'd probably see a picture of it. So
yeah,
there was an electric bike, and I was like, "Is that the car that looks my dad's bike, small?" That was cool. And you're like, "No, that's just my dad's electric scooter or whatever." I was like, "Oh, good."
That bike was fun. That was a very fun 2 days to ride to work. I mean, it's sometimes somebody actually said it to me. They were like, "Do you realize that you're doing 30 miles an hour and all you're wearing is a cycling helmet?" It's like most people wear a full face crash helmet.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Motorbike helmet, and I was like, I only wore the helmet to please Lindsay.
You're like, I wouldn't have anything.
Otherwise, I'd have been going to work with just a baseball cap on to protect my head from the sun and the flies. Because when you're cycling, like 15-ish mile an hour is about roughly where I can tram along on a mountain bike when I'm pedaling. So that was okay. But then you add an extra 15 miles an hour on top of that, and flies hitting you in the face becomes a real problem.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Getting home, and I had my green jumper on, and it was just absolutely covered in aphids that had like hit me and landed on me. Oh, they weren't dead; they were still alive. They were just like holding on for dear life, going, "Oh my!"
Lindsay's like, "There's a bush walking out in the front yard." Oh no, it's just my husband covered in aphids. Okay,
it's just my husband who's still grinning like a Cheshire cat. So,
do you ever watch? It reminds me of the Dumb and Dumber. The one where they're like riding the motorcycle, and he's got like stuff all stuck to his face.
Yeah, and it's in his Jim Carrey in his heyday. That was
for sure.
So, but yeah, then that was it. It's just worked nights for the last 2 nights. Got up, went to the gym again with Joe today. And then walked back from school with Logan while he rode his bike because he wanted to ride his bike back from school, but not to school. So,
okay,
which I'm glad, because after my night shift last night, I did not want to walk the 40 minutes to school.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I was supposed to take a bicycle to get tuned up, and I totally freaking forgot. Darn it.
Oops.
Anyways, yeah, there's a bicycle place down where my kid's school is, and I dropped the kids off, and then I was supposed to put a bicycle and drop the bicycle off and pick up the kids. Good news, I did remember to pick up the kids. Bad news, I did forget to drop off the bicycle or even put it in the van. Anyways, you said that, and I was like, darn it. So yeah, there you go.
How about you? So, other than remembering to pick up the children, which is the good thing to do, and forgetting to take the bike to the bike shop, what have you been up to?
Yeah, I mean, if you gotta forget one of the two, I forgot the correct one. It'd be like you come home and you're like, honey, the bike is right where it's supposed to be. Where are the children? Shoot!
I knew there was something else.
It's 2 things. 50% is not bad. Oh, I guess it is failing. Okay, guess it's still failing. Anyways, what did I do this week? Man, let me tell you. I took Ariel on a dad-daughter date. That was fun. And it was like this concerty thing. Like it was literally like a dad-daughter date event. So like there was a bunch of dads and a bunch of daughters. I will say, no shade. Like I have no problem. But we sat down at the table. And I was expecting, and 99-ish% of everybody was like young daughters and dads. But like we sat down and there was this guy and he was like in his 70s and this girl that was like in her 40s. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Didn't see, like that's not how I envisioned it in my head, but that's cool. So, and I mean, I hope, if Ariel's like around our locale, that'd be awesome. I'd love to go on a dad-daughter date when I'm, old and decrepit and she's my age. which isn't old and decrepit, by the way. So, no.
I was going to say, I would absolutely love that if we were still at the point of doing Dementia Crossing, that you were still going on these daddy-daughter dates with Ariel in your 70s.
Mm-hmm, yeah, I'd just be like just like imagine a shriveled prune right here, and I'd just be like,
see, I disagree with it. I disagree that our generation are going to be that kind of old generation.
You think?
Because we are one of the most adaptable generations, because we've gone from like the analog to the digital and fully embraced it, and then having to teach the digital and understand it to keep up with the kids. So
maybe, yeah,
I think we're gonna get to like our 70s and we'll be sat here with like green screens and like all think absolutely fine. Ow! Absolutely like stuff that's fine.
Yeah, you're probably right. Except instead of like tea, I'll just have like a little bottle of Ensure. I'll just be like taking my Ensure, and I'll just be like, I'm just gonna finish my pills, Sean, while we're hanging out here. Don't worry. And just like that'd be like a whole routine. Anyways, so we did that. A lot of fun. It was a Christian artist. There was food. It was great. We had a good time. And then. Oh yeah, Saturday there was a game, and Noah had his first baseball practice, which I took Ariel to the game, so I don't really know a whole lot about the baseball practice. He said kids threw a lot further than him, and I was like, all right, we'll work on that. So
you'd think he'd have a really good arm with the bowling, though.
I know, and he's been lifting too, but I don't think it's the arm. I think it's the form. I've been trying. I've been trying to teach him to like to follow through, even though after he lets go, and to twist his hips and blah blah blah. So, I think, some continuing weightlifting would be good for him, but also I just think it's more form than anything else. So there was that. Didn't win the game, but Ariel played pretty good, and then Sunday was just absolutely nuts. The last bowling tournament, which was in Jackson, which is like an hour and a half away, we did kids' church. Then we zipped from there straight to Jackson so he could do his thing, and then like in the third game, which is his last game, I took Ariel and we went to the field so that she could get to her game on time, and then everybody came, and then we went out to eat, and it was a big I don't know. I got home and I fell asleep. That's what I remember happening. I was like, I am done. I am out. So it was, and it was rainy. We all thought Ariel wasn't going to have a game because it basically rained all day long. And we're like, surely they're going to cancel. They did not. So we had the game, which it wasn't actually that bad. It was drizzly, but it wasn't awful. It was, but out on the field, it was kind of like watching figure skating with these girls. They were all just kind of they were just slipping and sliding, and I don't know. Everybody was everywhere. It was so that was kind of funny. Let's see what else. Bowling, soccer, and then I'm doing this thing, Sean, because over here. Your Mother's Day has already happened, correct?
It has been and gone.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So ours is Sunday. So I was a little unsure what to do for Beck, and Becca very much is like I would like smaller but more than one present rather than like one large present. So I've basically taken all her favorite things. She like loves turkey subs, and she loves these like healthy drinks, and these like they're literally like it's a company called Healthy. They serve these like really strong flavored like caffeinated. They call them energy bombs. Let's be honest, just a bunch of caffeine in there. And she loves these like turkey sandwiches from the deli, and so I'm just basically buying her one of these a day until Sunday, and then I don't really know where it's gonna end up. I'm going to do something for the final day, but I haven't really figured that out yet. So anyway, I'm just doing these things for Mother's Day. I know dads are not going to hear this in time, but, don't forget your mom. I hope you didn't forget your wife and mom. Let me put it that way. So we're prepping for Mother's Day. The moms want lasagna. I'm making lasagna. So there you go. And that's pretty much been my week. That's the whole thing.
Cool. Have you been playing anything? I'm assuming with you being so busy that you have absolutely zero time to get to anything to play.
Yeah, Noah keeps begging me to play Tears of the Kingdom, and I have not got back to it. You know what I did crack open though, or like start again, was Mario Wonder. I remembered that there was like the star levels. Basically, Noah and I beat the Bowser, and then he was like, "I'm out," and I was like, "Okay, well, I'll beat these star levels by myself." But then I never did. So I did crack that open for an hour because everybody was doing their own thing. Kind of getting to that point in life, Sean. They're like where everybody does their own thing for a while, which is really weird. Like, it's very hard for me to settle into that. I'm like, no, I should be doing something with a child. Like, and it's like Noah's doing his own thing, and Ariel's, especially when Noah is preoccupied, because Ariel is very happy in her bedroom, just like tooling around with stuffies or coloring or whatever. If it's flipped, then Noah's usually like, what are we playing, Dad? But Noah was busy. Oh, he has to make a diorama of the Battle of Yorktown. To be honest, when our two nations decided to call it quits in the good old Revolution War. So he had to make a diorama of this battle, and so he was working on that. And I was like, I was in that weird stage. I was like, well, what do I do? And I was like, I guess I could play something by myself while the kids are awake. Okay. So, anyways, I broke that open. Very weird. Still, when that happens, I'm still trying to get used to it as a parent because I'm just not used to it. So yeah, and that was fun.
I'm terrible. So I'm terrible with it. Like, Emily will be doing whatever she does. She'll be like a bit like Ariel. She'll be in a room. She's got a pin badge making machine where it's like she can draw designs on these like little circle discs of paper, and she loads them in with like the metallic back, like a plastic back and metallic kind of thing, and she presses it and then spins it around, presses it again, and she makes these like pin badges.
That's awesome.
She has made loads, but she'll either be doing that in a room, or she'll be drawing, or she'll be playing her Xbox. Logan has got quite good now with going out and like knocking for his friends, like old school kind of stuff, like knocking and see if they can come out, or finding them at the park. And he'll do that, and then like Lindsay will just be like, I'm gonna go for a nap.
I love it.
And I'm like, well, what can I do? Yeah. Like, if you're napping, it's like, so like the other day when this happened, that was on Sunday. She was like, Logan was playing out, Emily was like, she was preoccupied. Like, Lindsay said, I'm going for a nap, and I was like, well, I'll go and vacuum the car out then, I guess. Just, so you don't mind doing that? I'll stick it late. And she was like, no. So I stuck the headphones on and went out, listened to music, vacuumed the car out, and then I was like, what do I do next?
Yeah, I know. Sometimes I feel somewhat like a puppy. Like, hey, Ariel, do you want to play like a game or something? No, I'm good, Dad. Oh, okay. All right, fine. Sure. Okay. Oh, it was fine. I'll go find someone else to. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm kind of like,
years and years of like having to entertain them, like look after them, like do the whole, as the just before you get to the stage, like they're kind of looking over and making sure they're okay and like assisting them, to this. It's horrific. It really because nobody prepares you for it. I said this to Logan this morning. I was like walking into school with him, and I was like, when do you think you're going to want me to stop walking into school with you? And he was like, I don't know. So, well, I did it yesterday because I stood at the front. Joe's got this new little puppy. So I stood at the front talking to Joe and the puppy. And I said to Logan, do you want to just go in on your own? I can see you all the way to the door from here. And he was like, yeah, okay. High five. And see you later. And he walked in and like waved, kept looking back every now and then. And I was like, so I said to him, when do you want this to stop? Because I like walking you into school and holding your hand, but there's going to come a point, dude, where you're going to be like, that's not cool. I don't want to do that, Dad. And I'm like, you have to give me a heads up when that's going to be, because I don't get to ever do it again.
Well, it's like that thing they say, right? Like, I mean, in all the stages of your kid's life, like you never know when the last time you pick your kid up and just like hold him in one arm, right? Easily, like he's a little dude. And the last, all those last times that you don't think about, right? And it's like, yeah.
I think I can still get Emily in one arm. Jay, I have to carry in two arms. Yeah. And I have carried Jay recently in two arms because she was very drunk. So it's the perks of having an 18-year-old daughter. She was the hammer. I had to help her up the stairs.
It's a totally different carry.
Oh, that's like carrying a dead weight. When you ever get to carry your 18-year-old child who is inebriated in 2 arms, that's a dead weight.
Yeah. So I hear people say all the time, like when the last time that you do those like things when they're young, and it's like, yeah, you don't think about it, but sometime will be the last time for those things. So.
Yeah.
So as annoying as they can be sometimes, you still like
cherish it,
right?
It flies past you.
It really does.
Like we're halfway through 20. I had this like realization the other day. I was writing isolation back out at work, and like I wrote the date, and I was like, wow, we're in May already. And then I kind of thought, we're nearly halfway through 2025. How is this possible?
No, that's totally true. It's crazy. It's nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyways, I'm waiting for the day when I'm like, do you want to do this thing? Like when I ask a kid to do something and they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, I'll try to figure out something else. I'm waiting to the time for them to be like, Dad, you always tell us there's a million things to do in the house. Go find something to do. I was waiting for my words to come back and bite me, because I really did think of that this week when that happened. I was like, I would tell my kids, go find something to do, because there's a million things to do in this house. So I found something to do, and there you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Anyway, we went from like this elation of all the fun stuff we've been doing to like this somber.
I know.
Oh,
yeah.
So.
Our kids are growing up. Bummer. That's true. So, so bowling's over, and now we're on to baseball. Which, bummer. We got the schedule for baseball. I really thought it would be like spread over the summer, because we didn't. We literally just got it their first practice. So they have 3 practices a week in May, for each week in May. And then in June, they have 3 games a week in the month of June, and then they're done.
Wow.
Which is fine, except for the fact that we're going on vacation for 2 weeks of June. So he's going to miss half his games. I was like, oh, okay.
Man.
Yeah, because Beck was like, well, they're going to miss some games. I was like, well, we'll just miss like 2. No big deal. Like, I'm just assuming there's going to be like a game a week. No, there's 3 games a week.
No. We're going to miss 6.
Yeah, there's 12 games of the season, and we're missing half of them. So, yeah, that's kind of a bummer. But yeah. So
it was a packed schedule as well. I have expected them to be like all over the summer break, but
I know that's what I was thinking too. At least over like when Ariel does summer soccer, it's like 10 weeks. So I was thinking, like 10 weeks, a game a week or something like that. But anyways, so yeah, I gotta tell his coach, hey, he's gonna be missing for the last half of your season. So, anyways, but that's that. And I'm actually, man, travel soccer makes everything seem so much easier, because it's like all his practices, all his games are at the same field. So there's no traveling. The field's like 5 minutes from us. It's like, this is a breeze. like this is so easy. I don't got to drive an hour to go to a game. It's fantastic.
So let me guess. Everybody comes to the same place rather than each team going to a different.
Yeah. What is it called in college? Intramural. It's like an intramural sport. So basically, cool. It's 6 teams is what it is, and they're all from our city. So all these like junior, they call it junior baseball. All these junior baseball kids signed up, and they split them all up into 6 teams, gave them different coaches, and then they're playing each other like twice throughout the season. Is how they do it.
Oh, fair enough. That makes it a lot easier on the parents and a lot easier on the kids, because you're not having to like travel them far for them to run around and play soccer for so long and then have to travel back and interrupting like school and sleep and stuff. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So it'll be easy. Oh man, I just thought I gotta look at the schedule, because everything revolves around June 5th. No games June 5th. Good job. All right. It's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. All right. I can make it. I'm stupidly.
Nothing can interrupt that June 5th.
That's right. I'm stupidly pumped for this console. I don't know if I've ever been this excited for a console launch. I don't think I have. Because I was not excited for the Switch, the first one at all, because I had the Wii U and I was kind of like, meh. And so I was like, I'm not getting it. So I didn't get the Switch until like 4 months after it launched, because and everybody started to say it was cool, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll pick it up. And so,
God, I gotta get on the hype train. And hop on the bus.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so maybe GameCube. Now that I think about it, GameCube or N64 might have had the same hype, but I don't know. It's too long ago for me to remember.
I think
I'm old.
PlayStation 2 was probably the last one I was super hyped for.
Yeah. There you go.
So, yeah. Cool. Well, that's our everyday life episode done and dusted. So, thank you very much for sitting for us on either your Monday morning to work, or you're in the office and you just have something that you need to listen to, which is great. Join us on Wednesday when we're going to talk about how to kind of tame your inner critic. So, as humans, we are pretty much hard on ourselves for most things. A lot of people go through the same thing of imposter syndrome, where you don't ever feel like you're good enough to be doing the thing that you're doing, or you go for a job interview and you're worried about it and things like that. So we're going to talk about our own personal experiences with that and give you hopefully hints and tips and ways to kind of overcome that. So that'll be the Dad Life episode for this week. So thanks very much for listening, and come and join us on Wednesday.
See you later, guys.